We'll
So
move on, man. The Miami Dolphins. What an interesting team. They suck. Big
okay.
blowout loss. You know what they say when you score 70 points, you gotta try your hardest to let up 70 points. Dylan, how was that watch for you?
That was painful. It was painful. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. That was a hard watch.
And Dylan, I will preface this. I am not putting this on Tua that much. I do think that there were moments where it was his fault, but I do think the defense was horrible. At the end of the game, they just gave up. The defense
It was
was the Bears, was the Broncos, like they just completely gave up. That being said, man, if you guys don't have Jalen Ramsey, you do not have a corner. And Diggs isn't even the best receiver in the league, and he was, I mean, I
yeah, I'll
think
get into that.
the
Yeah.
Dolphins they have a cornerback issue. And I think here's the thing. And I was ready to go in on the Dolphins, and I still am because I think they're a fraudulent team, and I think this game
You,
very
you
much
just
proved
said
that.
they were Super Bowl contenders
I
last
know
week.
I did, and I'm I was very wrong, and I'm happy I was wrong. I was
Of
very
course you're
wrong.
half. Okay, okay.
I'm
Wait,
very happy I'm wrong, but I don't know. I think they faced. I mean here's the thing, Dylan, and you can agree on this. The Dolphins have a good offense, right? Like they've proven they can score points, obviously, and they go up against a Bills defense that's maybe top 10, and their offensive line looks like one of the worst in the league. They look horrible. You're letting Ed Oliver. That's disrespectful to Ed Oliver. He's pretty good. Gregory Rousseau, like you were just leaking sacks. Mostert had a terrible game. The 2 fumbles. I don't know. I think this is, if a Dolphins fan and Dylan, if Tua's Tom Brady, in your opinion, I think they faced a pretty good team and they looked very, very bad.
Yeah, I'll let Charlie talk before I go. Go ahead.
I just wanted to throw this out there just so that y'all don't get confused. Like I did not watch the game this weekend. Um, I just for whatever reason I was watching football. I just did not watch Dolphins Bills despite it being game of the week or whatever. But if I can sort of from what I've heard of this game, from the Dolphins games I've watched, from the Bills games I've watched, Dylan, I think you can agree with this. The Dolphins defense has looked awful this year.
It's been problematic. I'll get into it much more in depth.
34 points against the Chargers, 17 against the Patriots, 20 against the Broncos, and 48 against the Bills. Those are really, really bad numbers. So while the Dolphins' offense has looked like probably the best offense in the NFL so far, with the exception of this week, the defense is really letting them down. And while I know they're in that Super Bowl contention in some people's minds right now, maybe less people after this week, the defense
-1.
has to figure that out because they can't just score 70 every week. It's not, they can't even just score 50 a week, which they would have needed to beat the Bills this week. The Dolphins, I'm still high on the Dolphins. I really like the Dolphins, but they have to bounce back from this and they have to kill Buffalo when it comes to Miami.
So I'm not going to move any goalposts here. I still believe that this is the best offense in the NFL and needs a little fine tuning on defense. Sure, that was a really embarrassing performance. I think Vic Fangio's got to figure some stuff out personnel wise, but I still think it's a defense that can compete come January. I think it's a team that will win 11 plus games this season and be a Super Bowl contender through the whole thing. Buffalo proved me wrong though. I came into the season thinking Buffalo's not a playoff team. Orchard Park, apologies. Orchard Hill's a dorming complex over here. Orchard Park is the most difficult place to play an away football game in the NFL right now. I think Bills Mafia really threw off McDaniel, threw off Tua's timing, and they
Blame
really
it
did.
on that. Blame it on that. Dylan, you said like that just sounds so like just
How is that a bad?
that's just scapegoating. Dylan, they were terrible. The Dolphins were terrible, regardless of whatever.
I'm still going. I'm saying that's a bad thing to have throw off your timing. I'm insulting my guys right now, but
it didn't sound like it. It did
Yeah,
not sound like it.
maybe because I have a cheery voice. I don't know. No.
So like the Dolphins can't handle
Now
the
it's the
stress of
cheery
a big
voice,
game
and
in a
now
big
he's blaming it
stadium.
on
Is that what it is?
No, the stadium, the atmosphere was really, really good for Buffalo, and our guys were thrown off by it. We need to be able to handle that. Sorry, the Dolphins need to be able to handle that going through the next couple of weeks. They have the Eagles, they play in Germany, they play the Giants, they play Carolina, and they play the Patriots. That should be, if you're a Super Bowl winning team, 4 wins out of 5. I think it could be 4 wins out of 5, but let's talk Tua for a second. I said I wasn't going to bring it up, but I feel like I got to bring it up. It was a 71% completion percentage, 282 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception ratio, but I didn't think he played a good game. And it's been 2 weeks now that the Dolphins have had close games against divisional opponents, that Tua's timing has been thrown off by Belichick, the atmosphere, Sean McDermott, and maybe just Jalen Waddle not being at his full strength yet. Maybe Tyreek Hill not really being there and active in this game, and he wasn't against New England either. And it just brings me to the point where I have to say, and I love Tua, if you want to be the best quarterback in the league, which I think he can be, and I think he will be at some point, he has to be able to go into divisional games away and light the house up. So I'm criticizing him right now. You haven't heard that often. You have to be able to do that.
So Dylan, can I ask you just like one
You won't
simple
be.
question? Like just a simple question. If Miami went back to Buffalo this coming weekend, do you think they would get killed again?
No. I
Do
think
you
they would
think
lose
they would
again.
win?
I think they would lose again.
Okay. So what part of you thinks that they can go win the Super Bowl?
I think the reason they can win the Super Bowl is because Jalen Ramsey comes back in 7 weeks. Jalen Phillips comes
7
back.
weeks?
Bro, Charlie, Tua has good pocket presence. Like, they're gonna win the Super Bowl.
Oh, I forgot
They're
that's
gonna
it.
win the
No,
Super
but
Bowl.
so
He does
Dylan,
have
what
good-
concerns me is if the thing that you believe is throwing off the Dolphins is being away in high pressure moments, that means the Dolphins need to get the number 1 seed in the AFC, or else they're not
Yeah.
going to the Super Bowl.
I'm not
Because you're
saying that's
gonna
the only
go
thing that's
to
throwing them off.
Arrowhead, you're gonna go to Buffalo, you're gonna go to Cincinnati, you're gonna go to some big
Cincinnati,
stadium
I'm
if you're
not
not the
sure.
number 1
Of course,
seed.
of course.
Cincinnati, I'm not
but
sure right now.
I'm blowing out a kink in the team that needs to be figured out. Every team has a problem. I'm pointing this problem out, but that doesn't mean they're not a Super Bowl team. Like you can't just like forget that they put up 70 points last week. You can't forget that they killed the Chargers defense through the entire game week 1. They played well defensively against the Patriots. Sure. Cater Co, who made Stephon Diggs look like the best receiver in NFL
Who
history.
is that? Who the hell? Who
Dude
is
is a
Cater
beast.
Kohu?
He's actually so good.
Who is that? Is that a rookie?
No, he's
No, he
second
was an
year?
undrafted rookie last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
But-
never heard of him.
Sure, our linebackers have never learned how to tackle. That's problematic. Christian Wilkins is
people.
playing like a bottom 7 defensive tackle in football right now when I was gassing him up to be a top 3 earlier this year. There's problems in the defense. There really are. And Fangio needs to figure them out fast if he's going to do it at all. He's the highest paid defensive coordinator in football, and it needs to be done. But you can't forget Jalen Ramsey comes back. Jalen Phillips was inactive. And there are good signs all over the place in games against the Broncos. They let up 20, but one was a kick return. In games against the Patriots, they let up 17. And last thing I'm going to say until someone says something annoying to grind my gears is Devin Achane, is going to be the best running back in this class at one point. I'm
Oh, okay,
so
okay,
convinced.
okay.
He
Yeah,
is
no,
I
I can,
so
I can
phenomenal.
get behind that. He's good. I don't. No. Oh no, Bijan's there. No, he won't be.
But
he'll
he's
be.
so
He's good. No, he's
phenomenal.
good. I think he's very good. I think his speed is really kind of eye catching. But and I want to talk about the Bills also because I think we do get
Yeah,
caught
of course,
up.
of course.
And we'll let Surge talk because Surge is always he's like the neglected younger child. Whenever we get in arguments, Surge just doesn't
All right.
speak.
I just like to listen because that's just always like
Neglected
Ian trying
younger
to
child.
Sorry, Surge.
So
and speaking from experience there. But anyways,
Ian does have 2 older siblings.
I am the neglected younger child.
but what I will say is again, I think we've already talked a lot about the Dolphins. What I will say is I've already talked to Dylan about this. Like the Dolphins defense really, it doesn't seem like they have the personnel right now to play Vic Fangio's defense. Again, maybe Jalen Phillips coming. I think Jalen Phillips is really a bigger loss, at least for this game, than Jalen Ramsey. Because Ramsey,
I
he's still a
agree. We
good
didn't-
corner. Not
no
sure if he's
pressure.
still elite. But like I said, your defensive line got dominated. And I know obviously Kuhu got dominated too. But I think you need that pass rush really needs to get fixed up, especially for when January comes around and when you're playing, like I said, the Buffaloes, the Kansas Cities, the Baltimores. I think right now they're pretty good.
Not only that, Buffalo in negative 20-degree weather.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I still have the Dolphins winning the division. I still think it's going to happen that way because there are too many games that the Bills just lose for no reason. The Jets game, it just happens too often. I don't think Miami's going to have that many losses, but Buffalo played phenomenally in this game, and I think they should get the credit where it's due. Diggs had an amazing game. James Cook had another really good game. The defense is sound. So yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with you, and I do want to talk about Buffalo because I think that was their okay, we're still a Super Bowl contender game. I mean, they shut down, Dylan, what you said. The Dolphins team that a lot of people had is the best team in the NFL coming into this week. And so I think for Buffalo, huge big game. You beat a division rival who's very good. Dylan, and I actually don't completely disagree with you. And I think that is true that the Bills tend to drop more games. I think the Dolphins may win more. And I wouldn't completely disagree that the Dolphins will win the division. But I mean, as just a fan of an NFL fan, and just, as someone who watches, like, they may win the division, but Buffalo look a lot better. Like, Buffalo look
of course.
miles better. Like, easy, like, you guys were manhandled. And
I mean, in the first quarter, it was back and forth. But
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
You lose Armstead. You have a bad touchdown go against you and momentum skews. You have the fans on your side. It happens. You get blown out. It's a bad game to lose to a division opponent. But at the end of the day, the reason I'm not concerned about Miami is because stuff happens. It's the NFL.
So
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
Um,
really quickly. I'd like to just put. I've been a Dolphin supporter since week 1. I think that they are a really good team. I've had them winning the division for a little while now. I think Tua's playing really well. But I'm going to play devil's advocate just for a minute. I did this after week 2 with the Cowboys, and then they lost to the Cardinals the next week. So I'm not trying to jinx anybody here. But the Dolphins went and week 1 won by 2 points against possibly the worst defense in the NFL.
No. The Chargers defense is not the worst in the NFL. It's bad,
really
but it's not
close
the worst.
to it.
No. They've played a few good defensive games now in a row.
So, but they beat the Chargers by 2 points, and the Chargers the last few years haven't won a single playoff game. Doesn't scream Super Bowl champion to me. Then they went.
But you can't just like write it like that. Like the way the Dolphins played. The way the Dolphins
devil's
played
advocate. That's
game.
the whole.
No, I know you are,
but
but the way you're writing this script, they won by 2 points. Therefore, they didn't look like Super Bowl contenders. You're keeping out the fact that the quarterback had the game of his life, and the offense looked like the best offense in football.
they won the game. But then you pointed out that they played a fantastic defensive game against what is it? One of the bottom 5 offenses in the NFL. That is the New England Patriots. And then they put up 70 points against what I do believe is the worst defense in the NFL. 70 points is still 70 points, but it's the worst defense in the NFL, possibly. And then they go and get killed by the Bills. So
I don't like the way you're painting the Chargers and the Patriots to be just bad teams, though. Just based on
Patriots are just a bad team.
We're going to talk about the Oh my God!
I don't think they are.
Watch it. We are going to talk about the Patriots, and I don't want to do the thing where we jump to different talk. The Patriots are horrible.
They had a bad game.
Also, and if we're not going to just agree that the Patriots as a whole are horrible, the Patriots offense is horrible.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I agree.
And you said your whole thing was the Dolphins played a great defensive game, and that's because they didn't play a great offensive game. So
because the Patriots defense is phenomenal.
I wouldn't say phenomenal, but they were phenomenal like 3 years ago.
They're far from phenomenal.
Serge, we both watched the Patriots play against our defense. Do they have a great defense?
They do have a great defense.
They have a great
defense. Although they did, I will say they had Christian Gonzalez out for the Cowboys game, which is why they definitely looked a lot worse, and they had no cornerback.
And Judon.
And no Judon.
All right, we'll move on.
Whatever.
Wow, so that's probably the shortest Dolphins segment we've ever had. Congratulations. I think we deserve it.
Yeah, because I'm not actively just like pursuing my narrative, even if I'm wrong.
Because you didn't win.
Yeah, because your narrative is wrong now.
Your quarterback is going to be Tom Brady.
I do want to say though, I think we do need to give a bit more credit to the Bills just because of the fact that they've been.
I do too.
Just like, I mean, I think today was the day. Like, I know some people were starting to get on the agenda that somehow Josh Allen was better than Tua, but I think that really shows you the difference between
Tua was better than Josh Allen.
An elite and Tua was better than Josh Allen. Between like an elite quarterback and a really good quarterback.
I disagree.
He's able.
Serge, thank you. That's what I haven't been saying, Serge. Thank you.
And I'm not even saying that as a slight to Tua. I'm just saying that just because I think that's the difference between the Bills and the Dolphins. Because I think the Dolphins have a great roster, but the Bills have a much better coached defense at this point, and they have a quarterback that I think doesn't rely as much on structure. Exactly. It just make things happen on his own. Again, I'm sorry.
I completely agree. And I think, and I'll let you guys, I think the difference is, and Serge, thank you for saying that, is Josh Allen can get his team out of situations. Tua, I think for me, completely lacks that. He's wrong. It's not wrong at all. Tua, I think like actually like factually is generally a one-read quarterback. Like you
That's
look at his
just
release
so
time,
wrong.
it's not wrong.
That
if you look at
is so
if you-
wrong. Like
if you
that
look
is
at the
like
Bills
the
game,
most
it's not
wrong
it's,
thing.
it's not at all. If you look at the
Can I
Bills
say
game,
what
Tua
I
is
think the
not even close to a
That's a-
one.
Tua cannot extend plays, and that's why
He
he's
can't.
not an elite
No,
quarterback.
that is a
he
flaw in
can't.
his game. I agree with you. That is
And
a
that's
flaw in
why
his game.
he will never be up there. That's why he will never be up there.
That's
because
just
Can-
that's
can
just-
I-
Tom Brady can't extend plays.
yes, he
That's like,
could. What are you
Tom
talking
Brady can
about?
extend plays within.
Have
the
you
pocket.
watched Tom Brady? Yes,
I
he
think
does.
Tua has similar pocket manipulation skills to Tom Brady, but apparently that doesn't
Oh,
matter.
God.
So
It doesn't matter,
Um,
obviously, because you just
Can
got
I
blown out.
can I explain what I see the difference of these two quarterbacks as? I don't think it's the difference between an elite quarterback and a very good quarterback. I think it's two very good quarterbacks, and I'm keeping the elite tier just for Mahomes for right now. I think
Thank
it's
you.
two very good quarterbacks. I think the difference is that Tua is a much more consistent quarterback, but on his day, Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the NFL, and we just saw Josh Allen on his day.
that's
Tua-
reasonable.
Tua will go out and put up 300 yards every single game, 2 touchdowns every single game, with an
No.
80% completion percentage every single game. But Josh Allen, once every 3 weeks, will put up 6 touchdowns and 500 yards.
I think that's so. Like Tua's been doing.
For me,
like,
that's
Josh
the difference between these
Josh
two
Allen's
quarterbacks.
been doing this for what 4 years. Tua has.
But Josh
never won a
Allen lost
playoff
to the
game.
Jets in week 1.
Yeah.
No,
I
mean,
think
and
to
he
be,
just
I
blew
think
out
to be
Tua.
fair, I think Josh Allen has been getting way too much hate.
Yeah,
over
I mean,
the past
Tua
year.
has not won a playoff game. They're
Listen,
not
I
on the
agree.
same
he has
Bro,
level.
but
bad-
that's just the stupidest argument
It's
ever,
not.
though. He has
It's
not
not.
won a playoff game. It's been 3 years. One of the seasons, he was being actively sabotaged by his coach. One
'Cause
of
he
the seasons, he
sucks.
got 2 concussions. And one of the seasons, he was a rookie that was this backup at the start of the season. Nowadays, the coach is on his side. He's healthy, and he's playing like an MVP candidate. He
So
had
he
it.
has two elite receivers.
So he went
and
from
running backs.
getting
They-
handheld to not getting
call it.
handheld was terrible. Then now he's handheld again. And he's good. I think there's a.
How
trend
is he
here
being handheld?
because
please
his
explain-
offense does it
He's
all
got
for
the best
him.
situation
And
in
his-
the NFL.
He has the
Why
best
are you
situation in the
agreeing
NFL.
with him? His offense has been the best in the NFL, but no offense is the best in the NFL without a good quarterback.
Brock Purdy. He's like basically like
Brock
Yeah.
Purdy's a good
Brock
quarterback.
Purdy.
Yeah,
Brock-
good
Brock
quarterback.
Purdy is a
Purdy's
good
played
But
very
quarterback.
well.
yeah, so yeah, serious. Brock Purdy's
Yeah.
gonna be Tom Brady though. He's gonna be Tom Brady, bro. Trust. Like he's gonna be Tom Brady. Dylan,
In
we-
all honesty, people have made that comparison
Yeah.
in the last few months, so I'm
But
not gonna
Dylan,
like.
I think I honestly think Brock Purdy's probably better than Tua.
Uh-huh.
That's outrageous.
I mean, he's
It's
4-0. He has
it's
not
so
lost
fu-
a
It's
regular
so
season.
funny. It's so funny watching you trying to extend this play. It's really funny. But
Has Brock Purdy lost a regular season game since
No.
he has been started? Has Tua?
what kind of
Has Tua?
stupid question is
has-
that?
has-
This is
has-
so-
wait.
Brock Purdy.
Has Tua
Brock Purdy,
lost the game in his
Brock
4-year
Purdy-
career? Like, the
Purdy hasn't, and he's won more playoff games than Tua.
You're such a stupid person, bro.
Like,
It's
how?
so
Can I
funny.
just like
Your quarterback who's supposed to be
elaborate?
Tom Brady and has been in the league for 3 years and has not done
Oh
anything
my
outside
bad.
regular
He
season.
lost a game in his career. Is he supposed to be unbeaten? Like
Brock
Purdy's
Purdy
played
is.
what,
FYI, through
11
one game of
games?
his career,
Played
Daniel
what,
Jones hasn't
11
lost a
games?
game.
Yeah, and Brock Purdy also wasn't a first round pick. He was a 7th round pick and fought for his position and was not handheld his entire career.
That is true.
Tua sucks.
Bro turned off his camera because he's scared of listening.
It
But
turns off.
I just can't like fathom that you're being serious, so I'm not gonna take you
I am.
serious.
I'm
But
not being serious, even though you said Tua is going to be Tom Brady. You're the most like
I said Tua
hypocritical
can
human.
be Tom
No, you
Brady.
didn't.
Dylan, I think now
No,
is
you
the
didn't.
time
No
for
one
your-
can be.
You said
Tom
Tua will
Brady.
be Tom Brady. I have clips.
Will be. I said can be. Very different.
So you're saying Tua
But-
has GOAT potential.
He does.
No, he
Every
doesn't.
quarterback
that's
when they step in the
crazy.
league has scope potential. But when
Yeah,
I'm
But
saying,
Tua didn't just step in the league.
But Tua
But-
doesn't have GOAT potential.
but why are we even taking this here? I'm trying to just say I came into this with a pessimistic Tua take, and then Kian just carries this into the stupidest argument I've ever heard. And now you're getting me angry. I came into this, I literally wrote down on my sheet of paper, argue logically, not emotionally, but you literally made
But Dylan,
me a
you're not-
crazy son of a bitch that I can't even do
You're
that.
not allowed to because you said Tua. You're not allowed to call anybody crazy, emotional.
I am
because
okay.
you
I'm
said Tua
fully
would be
allowed to
Tom
call
Brady.
you crazy.
No, you're not.
I said he can be Tom Brady, and I stand
Yeah.
by that. My
Yeah,
goalpost has
and-
not moved. But
And he has not
I
won
would-
a playoff game, and I will use that until he wins a playoff game.
does Justin Herbert suck?
No,
No.
He has not won a playoff game.
I didn't say he's Tom Brady though. You did. You are
But
holding
does-
Tua to.
But you
the
said
I
goat.
just-
Tua,
can I-
you said Tua sucks because he did not win a playoff game. Justin Herbert did not win a playoff game. Therefore, by your logic, Justin Herbert sucks.
So also, if this
Tua
means
didn't
that
win a
winning a
playoff
playoff
game,
game
even though
is
he's
the
had the
metric
best
for not
situation in the
sucking,
NFL, and
that
Herbert
means
has one of
Daniel
the
Jones
worst
is the best
situations
quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Daniel
yeah.
Jones is better than Tua. I've been
Okay.
saying that.
Week
And I think
5,
Brock
I will
Purdy
be
is
there no
VP.
matter what.
Okay.
But like Dylan, the difference between Tua and
okay.
Herbert is like Herbert has one of the worst situations in the NFL, and Tua has.
You're literally laughing because you're trying to antagonize me. It's so funny.
But, like,
I find it
honestly,
hilarious.
It is
because
true.
like Dylan actually doesn't really have a leg to stand on, so he just goes on these like radical takes that.
What do you mean I
genuinely
don't
make
have
no
a
sense.
leg to stand on? Tua
You
has been
don't.
statistically the best quarterback in the league this season.
Do we have any popcorn in here?
He's been the
No.
worst
why I
quarter.
tried, Charlie.
He's
that's
been the
reason
best
why I tried to
quarterback,
extend
even
this
though
topic,
he
'cause I knew it
faces
was
actually
coming.
like a set. He
Bro,
faces like
I was
a defense
giving
that's
him
not
stick.
even that
I was
good.
giving him stick. I'm still saying he's a great quarterback. I was saying he needs to step up in big games, and you're coming in here saying he doesn't deserve to be a starter or some stupid shit.
Yeah,
So,
that's
like,
what I said. That's
Low
what
key,
I said.
Mike
Of
White
course,
shit
I'm gonna
talk.
argue back.
Like you just twist our word. Like I'm right. Also,
I twist your words.
Brock-
Okay,
Brock Purdy is better than Tua.
Wait,
Daniel
Kian,
Jones
I
is
have
better
a
than Tua.
question.
Daniel Jones is better.
Ian, I have a
than Tua.
question. How many
What?
quarterbacks do you think into a situation would do better than him?
All of them. Like literally all of them.